like opened the app back up after, and it was 10-0, and I was like, "What the hell did I miss? Like, what?"
Yeah, I started watching when it was 5-0, and Vince Velasquez came in, and I was just like, so, hold on. So, Lewis Roberts hurt, and it comes back from the injury thing, right? He hurts his hand for a little bit.
Yeah.
And instead of putting him on the IL, he's just not going to play for 10 days.
Thank you for listening to Shy Sox Talk with your hosts, Chris and Matt, your weekly place for White Sox fan reactions. Kick back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to episode 26 of Shy Sox Talk. My name is Chris, as always, here with my good friend and co-host Matt. How are you doing tonight?
Getting ready to turn it up. Feeling great.
White Sox 5-2 in their last 7. Split with the Astros. That's a pretty good week. Take that all day.
I'm pumped. Like today's game was like an absolute ass beating. So, you kind of got to take that with a grain of salt, but I don't think anyone saw him going 5-2, and I don't think anyone saw him splitting with the Astros. And, 2 come from behind wins. They could have just as easily won yesterday. Today, no chance, but, that they're playing with a little fire, thanks to Johnny Quito. Looks like he may have stirred something in the clubhouse with his remarks, because they do seem like they care a little bit more.
I think he did. Before we go into our listener questions, let's get your opinion on the report that there was a players-only meeting called by Tony La Russa. Apparently, Jose Abreu and Liam Hendricks ran it with the comment Jose made to the team. Last year, we won 90-plus games. We were confident going into the season, but I think that confidence turned into cockiness. We thought we were going to breeze through the schedule, and we're not doing that. Cueto was right with saying we needed to play with fire. Absolutely agree with that.
I mean, that's why he's the captain of the team, man. He knows. He's got his finger on the pulse, and I mean, could he have said anything more true?
I mean, you kind of see it all year, like especially when they get down, they're kind of like. But this past week they were there, man. Like they are like letting Hotes say. Actually, really, they're Rami Gonzalez catching Kopech's throw at second, going into extras with Houston last night. Really, that's what it is. Or Kopech holding Jose at second, but still, like, they're that close.
Yep.
And Houston is the best team in the AL. Yankees might be a fake team.
They might be like the White Sox last year. Second half rolls around and wheels fall off somehow.
With everything they have, too. The guy who's going to hit 60 bombs. Jumping into some of the fan questions here. We'll start off with Lucas. Yohan showed some clutch the past 2 nights. Is he really clutch? Does he really care? I'll let you lead off with that.
I think he definitely cares. He's just kind of like doesn't like to show it, which is irritating to watch as a fan. So I don't blame people for that, but I think he definitely cares. He's definitely struggled all year. But if you look at his numbers with runners in scoring position, he's like the best hitter in Major League Baseball when runners are in scoring position. He just his approach is different somehow, and maybe he can't hit the people throwing out of the windup or something. I don't know. Like it's too long of a time to concentrate or something that's throwing him off. But if you talk to all the stat nerds, they will tell you that clutch isn't real. It's not a real thing. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think I agree with that. I think a lot of those stat nerds maybe also never played a sport before, so they don't know what it feels like to be clutch, have clutch. They don't know what it feels different. And he seems like a guy who is clutch. Anecdotally, I'm sure. Joe Creedy was a guy like that too, who always came up with a big hit. And it seems like Yohan Moncada is kind of like just that guy. So I do think clutch is real, and I think he is clutch.
I agree with that. I don't know if it's clutch, and this is something I heard when I played rugby. I played rugby with some guys that were literal like definitions of clutch, but people would say it's not necessarily being clutch, but it's the absence of choke. They're just like always the same. Like even look at Yohan, he's always the same. Like he's not like okay, it's big at bat, calm the heart. Like he just is that
Every
dude.
at
bat.
bat is the same. Yeah, I mean that's probably part of it all. It's all like a mental thing, and some guys fall apart.
Big fist bump at first for a guy who doesn't care. Also.
Yeah, a lot of emotion for a guy who doesn't care.
Yeah, and you know what? Like he's the only one who really did anything today. The 3-run home run.
If he wasn't, he's like since July. If he's not on the team, like if everyone got their way and it's like Jake Berger or Larry Garcia instead of him, they are not in the playoff hunt right now. They're probably 6 or 7 games out, just because he was like him and Jose Abreu were the only 2 people driving in runs.
Side note on the Jake Berger thing, I love Jake Berger's bat. The fact that he's like 4th on the team in home runs and he hasn't played since May is an astounding stat, but he cannot play defense to save his life. And the White Sox have too many DH first baseman guys. Like, I like Jake. I love his story. Tore his Achilles twice, like lost a bunch of weight, tried to figure out second, but he just, I mean, we all saw it when he played in third base. Like, he doesn't have the range, he doesn't have the defense, and you can't be like -1 in the field and then hit a home run and make up for it. Like, you need to be a plus player.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing with Andrew Vaughn, where like his bat is completely taken away by how poorly he's played in right field.
And it's not his fault. He's not a right fielder.
It's not his fault. Yeah,
it's not a right fielder. If he was just a DH, people would be like, "This guy is a top end player, and I can't wait for him to be here."
I don't understand why they don't have him play left field and have Eloy play right field when you have when they both have to be out there. I don't understand that. Maybe they just like, Eloy, you can't. He's going to die if he switches to the right field. But
they got to just prevent him from hurting himself.
Because I mean, Eloy's not a great fielder, but he's way better than Andrew Vaughn.
What was it, Vaughn 2 nights ago? Like, was like, I can't jump. Like, half jumped to catch a ball and was like, I can't.
It's the slowest guy. He's like dragging a piano out there.
That's the second slowest behind Yasmani Grandal. Boy, is that nice.
Yasmani Grandal's slower than my grandmother, and my grandmother's been dead for 10 years, so.
R.I.P. Grandma. Goes into our second question here from Logan. Lucas Giolito has been very streaky this year. Can Ethan Katz fix him, or do the White Sox DFA him? I don't think he's still under team control. He's going to be on the team. Unless they trade him, he's going to be on the team. They're not going to let him walk away with 2 years of team control left.
This is
4th.
This is Giolito?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's a good 4th pitcher. Like, he's fine in the 4.
Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty rough this year, but he's, a 4 or 5 looks like.
And that's okay.
But if he figures it out and starts throwing hard again, then maybe he's 2 or 3. But yeah, he's not going anywhere. I don't think so.
Yeah, he's just
unless they trade him for someone. But I don't think that's going to happen.
But that means like Davis Martin comes up. Like the White Sox, unfortunately, we're going to get into the pitching staff in a little bit. The White Sox just don't have depth really anywhere right now. Like, they just don't, unless this offseason, and I don't even know who the offseason like pitchers are. I haven't looked yet. Unless they went and just like signed somebody, like Lucas is going to be on this team next year. He is going to be here. And we've seen Lucas be really good. We've seen him be really bad. Maybe he's just a 3 or a 4. Maybe that's a ceiling and his floor. And I take him most days versus another team's 3 or 4. Today, no. Next week, maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, he just has no velocity. I don't know where it's gone this year, so maybe he's got a little bit of a dead arm thing he's working through. And you just got to hope that he has the velocity next year because, right now the switch between speeds with that fastball and the changeup is just not doing anything.
He's 5 miles per hour slower this year on average than last year on his fastball, which
that's a huge drop.
that's a huge issue. Going into our last question here from, where are we? I had these all written out in our different app. All right, folks, and we're boomers. We couldn't figure it out. Couldn't see Matt or hear Matt. We got our last question here from Billy. The White Sox are now 2.5 games out of first. This is today, post the Houston game. 2.5 games out of first with the 6 games against Cleveland, 9 versus Minnesota. Do the White Sox have a chance at the wild card, or do you just see them winning the division to get into the tournament?
I mean, the American League East is kind of murdering each other currently. So I think they're just as much in the race for the wild card as they are for the division. I think they can get in both ways. I didn't think that was going to be the case earlier in the season. I thought they would have to win the division to get in, but it looks like they can get in either way, and we'll take either way.
Just get in. Really, just get in the tournament. The one team you're going to have to leapfrog in your own division is Minnesota. I think Cleveland, the White Sox don't win it, Cleveland's going to win the division. I think their pitching's too good. Like, they're just better than Minnesota pitching-wise. So you're going to have to leapfrog somebody in your division. I think it's going to be Minnesota. With 9 games at the end of the year, Tim will be back. That's going to really be the stretch.
Hopefully the real Tim is back also.
Hopefully, man. Maybe his hand was hurt. Like, maybe that's why, that's why he sucked really bad.
Yeah, I don't know. He was brutal when he came back from the IL, so really bad. One of the worst hitters in the league, actually. He was extremely bad.
Just burying balls into the dirt, too. Just no lift.
Yeah, ground outs.
Abbott went through the floor, just everything.
And bad fielding also.
One game, maybe 3 years, right? Or should have been 3 errors. Maybe one was counted as an error, but it should be 3. Let's be honest here, folks. So we have some big news for the White Sox. Tim being out. They tried Rami.
Huge.
They tried Lennon Sosa. Neither worked. And then they got a gift from the A's with Elvis Andrus being released, not DFA'd. He didn't have to go through waivers. The White Sox don't have to pick up his contract from the A's. League minimum salary. Thoughts?
Come on down. I'll take him. He's old, but he's a career 270 hitter, good fielder, plus fielder. I think he's kind of just a regular average fielder now. Below average bat, but I think he's got a 1.7 WAR this year at shortstop. That's way better than whoever else you're going to put out there. So I think that's a really good move, huge move. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
He is an upgrade over Leori. He's an upgrade over Lennon Sosa, and he's an upgrade over Rami Gonzalez. And once Tim's back, you're going to see probably, just assuming that Elvis plays the way he can, Harrison, TA, and Elvis Andrus rotate that middle infield the rest of the year until the postseason rolls around. And Leori's going to go back to what he really should be, which is plays 2 times a week wherever the team really needs him, and he won't get exposed or is
pinch runner for one of the slow guys, or even defensive replacement late inning.
Yeah, you're up 2 in the ALDS against Houston, and you
don't want Gavin Sheets in right field anymore, so there you go.
Yeah, you put him on. You put in.
That's what he's there for. That's what he's there for. He's not there to play every game. Don't he?
Gavin Sheets, man, he's the guy we want. I mean, that's more on Rick Hahn, but Elvis Andrus batting .237, slugging .373, OPS of .673, OPS plus 97. So he's right around league average with the bat. Finding his fielding stats this year. Defensive runs saved, he is a +6. So you take that.
I'm in.
Take it.
I think that's a huge move, actually. If they end up making the playoffs, I think that move is going to be one of the reasons they do so.
And he'll carry the bottom of the lineup in the 9-hole, where I'm assuming he's going to be batting, just kind of going off where Sosa and Rami were batting.
Yeah, you
Harrison
never know.
might be in the
Maybe
9-hole. He
maybe
might
he'll
be
be in the
in
3 or 4 hole. You never know what Tony La Russa is going to do.
the 8. But he even has 7 stolen bases this year, which I think would put him top 3 on the Chicago White Sox for the season.
Yeah, we
Right.
can't steal bases because you blow your hamstrings out and break your hand and all that good stuff.
Got to go 75% around the base pass.
Can't
But
run to
Elvis-
first base without getting hurt. What's going on here, guys?
I'm ready for Elvis Knight on the south side, though.
Me too.
I'm more excited for Elvis Knight. Let's get it. Go September 9th. I don't know. Is that a home game? Hear me out. White Sox marketing team, Elvis Knight. They used to do that Pittsburgh Penguins game.
It is. It's actually is Elvis Knight on August 26th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Hopefully he hits like 6 home runs, like Sebi Zavala.
Like friggin' Alex Bregman today.
You know what? This is a good little Sebi Zavala remind me of it. We'll throw a 4th bonus question in here. Do you start Sebi Zavala or Yasmani Grandal if they make the playoffs?
Sebi.
You have to, right? Like
He's the better player currently somehow.
And Yaz's contract's cool and all, but you're in the postseason. It's time to win, not think about contracts.
You'd really hope that he can figure it out. Yasmani, he needs to figure something out.
Just put a piece together. He looked a little better this week. Got on base, couple games, but when it was his turn to be clutch,
he was not.
He just popped up a high fastball behind home plate.
Yeah, and we're not paying him to hit singles, so
we're not paying a lot of guys on this team to hit singles, but Frank Mendocino is not getting the message with his coaching expertise. So going into the kind of the meat of our episode here tonight, a couple weeks ago we talked about the batters. Tonight we're going to get into the pitching staff. I think this is going to be an easy one, but I'll throw that out here, Matt. Who's your MVP for the pitching staff this year?
My MVP, definitely Dylan Cease. And if you're picking anybody else, what's wrong with your brain?
2.09 ERA, a whip of a 1.17.
Not an all-star.
Not an all-star. 4.4 WAR, 178 strikeouts to 58 walks. So that's a 3-to-1 ratio, right? Almost.
That's pretty good.
Top end. I think we saw flashes of this a lot. I still remember when we were at work watching his first start against the Tigers in 2019. And you were just like, this guy is a dude. He just needs to kind of not make the perfect pitch in 0-2 counts. And he figured it out.
So, yeah, I should be a freaking pitching coach. Yeah, he would be just throw nasty pitches, get ahead in the count, and then just throw everything out of the zone, trying to get people to chase. Because he probably just didn't have the confidence that he could get it across the plate for a swinging strike. And he definitely has that now. And he just throws a slider. When it's working, just keep throwing it.
Statistically, the best pitch out of any pitcher in baseball is Dylan Cease's slider.
Just throw that thing till your arm falls off.
I'm not going to say the surgery, but until that happens, do that. Hopefully when you're 38 and then you miss 2 seasons, you come back and you're 39 and you're a Cy Young candidate again.
Yeah.
You beat him, folks. He won the matchup. Sorry.
He did.
That's the truth. Quality starts. He's given 24 games played. He's had a quality start 22 times, so 6 or more innings, 3 or earned or less. He's in a 15-game stretch right now where he's given up 3 or earned or fewer. That is your.
He's your ace. That's your ace.
Win ace. Guy we briefly touched on a couple minutes ago, Luke Giolito. Just
he's like a C player this year, I think.
Streaky, which makes me nervous about Ethan Katz a little bit because Lucas was his like prized possession. He was the guy he figured out. And now it's looking like he unfigured it out.
Yeah, something happened. He's not throwing it. I think his arm's dead.
I don't think he had a dead arm yet this year. So it might be because what was it, 3 weeks ago? Somebody was like, after 75 pitches, he's just completely ruined.
Useless.
Just like, might as well just put us out there at this point.
At 75 pitches, his just arm's even worse, but like he just has no velocity for some reason. I know he put on weight in the off season, and maybe that's like thrown off his balance or something. So maybe he should slim down again.
He went on the Lance Lynn diet.
Yeah, he was trying to get a little bulkier, and maybe that's ruined his endurance or something. Maybe he's sweatier. Can't grip the ball as well. He looks fucking sweaty out there.
Speaking of somebody who's been a sweaty boy before in his past, Michael Kopech.
He had a sweating problem too.
I am so much in the school of thought that this dude needs a cutter. Like, he'll be unhittable if he needs a cutter.
Just call Don Cooper. Call Don Cooper up. Have him come in for a month. Teach him the cutter, because Don Cooper's the cutter guy. And then the guy will just throw 9-inning shutout baseball every game.
Well, I just think with the cutter, right? So his fastball is awesome. It has a ton of arm side run. The issue is, and you saw it against Houston, when he tries to throw an inside fastball to a left-handed pitcher, the arm side run just brings it out.
It works against him.
Yeah, if he doesn't keep that pitch away, Yordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker sending that onto I-94, which is not ultimately want, but a cutter would give a lefty a different look.
Yeah, I mean, Yordan, he's a player, dude. That guy smokes the baseball.
Almost was a Dodger. Well, he was a Dodger, but almost stayed with the Dodgers. Do you ever hear that story?
No, that guy's a player, though.
He was like the 40th Dodgers overall prospect, and Houston called about a trade. They said they wanted Yordan, and the Dodgers were like, absolutely not, because they thought they were talking about Yordan, a pitching prospect they had, not Yordan Alvarez. And the Astros were like, we want Alvarez, not the other guy. And Dodgers were like, yeah, like, we don't want that guy. And look at it. Imagine if he was the DH for the Dodgers.
The rich get rich, but like every year you're like, Dodgers, they're going to win the World Series, and then they don't. So,
money only buys you so much. Apparently, they can't buy you a ring every year. Ask the Yankees.
It'll occasionally get you one, though.
All I'm saying is, since 2005, the Yankees have the same amount of rings as the Chicago White Sox.
That's pretty crazy to think about.
So who's really winning here? Jerry Reinsdorf.
It's true. Who really is? It's Jerry. We're living in Jerry's world.
We're just close enough.
This is the Jerry Reinsdorf perfect season. This is the perfect Jerry Reinsdorf season.
And the topper is, if they make the World Series and lose, then he's like, oh, we're just one more piece away. Like, everybody stay tuned, because we're almost there.
Because we're gonna get Bryce Harper's friends this offseason. All right. We tried Manny Machado's, didn't work. This offseason, we're gonna get Bryce's, because we want Bryce. And I can, if Rick Hahn and Jerry are still around when that contract's over, they're going to do it. They're going to get them. That's how we do business here on the South Side. We get guys 10 years after we wanted them.
Hey, John Jay is my favorite center fielder. He's my favorite one. They brought him in to get Manny Machado. Johnny Cueto is the fourth starting pitcher.
A plus.
Yeah, we have 6 starting pitchers in the bullpen, but I'm not going to count them. Johnny Cueto, man, I'm not giving Rick Hahn credit for it, because he only signed him because Lance Lynn got hurt. But let's go, Johnny Cueto. Give me that fire.
Why was that guy a free agent?
He's going to be a legend in 4 different cities. He's going to be a legend in 4 different cities.
He's got to get him. You got to get him. Got to get him to the dance.
If they have a parade, I want him to drive his ambulance on Michigan Avenue.
Shit, dude! I'm telling you, if the White Sox make the playoffs, is Lucas Giolito even going to make the playoff roster?
So let's talk about it, right? You got you're playing the wild card. Like, you're not catching Houston, you're not catching New York. sorry to break the news to everybody who listens to this. The White Sox aren't getting a first round bye. They're going to be playing the wild card series. Dylan Cease and Johnny Cueto, games 1 and 2. Obviously, that is, you're not throwing anybody else in those two. So between Lance Lynn, Kopech, and Giolito, who do you throw?
Maybe Kopech on a short leash.
Have like Davis Martin or
Ronaldo ready to go.
Yeah. Short leash it. The only other thought I had was like if Lance Lynn were to finish really strong, like have like 6.
He's actually been pitching pretty
outings.
good too. So actually, I think I would maybe actually go Lance. It really kind of depends on the matchups, though.
Lance Lynn kind of had his mid-season spring training. I think a lot of his early struggles were equated to the fact that like he hadn't pitched in
He's
4
also
months.
Fat. He's got to lose some pounds.
But yeah, I mean, it's not Lucas. I think after today you can go ahead and rule out Lucas as your game 3 must-win starter. A part of me thinks like if Lance Lynn were to finish strong, I think Lance. If I'm Tony La Russa,
he's actually had a pretty good stretch these last 5 games, so I think I would go with Lance. Actually, I'll revise my statement. I would go with Lance.
Let's pull up Lance's splits here in the last 5. Lance Lynn stats. Look at this. First of all, top end producing for everybody who watches this.
And if you're in a win now situation, like maybe you have Kopech ready to go in the bullpen too, on him and Ronaldo to be stoppers out of the pen in a must-win game.
He is. Kopech had that role last year. Like he's probably mentally still ready for it. He could do it. Lance Lynn over his last 5 resulted in a 3-2 record for the White Sox. He had a decision in 3 of those games, 2-1, and he was about 6 innings each. Had 1 shutout, which was against the Guardians of the Galaxy, which something you love to see. I think he's really started to figure it out. Kind of just looking at the splits here. Whip way down in his last 5 starts. His whip when he first got back was a 1.95, almost a 2, which was like Dallas Keuchel levels bad. But he's put it together. I mean, maybe he went through his own little mini spring training when everybody else was mid-season.
Yeah, you kind of just get back into the swing of things as you miss spring training, and that's going to affect a lot of people, I think. Some guys can get thrown off their rhythm of preparation, and it doesn't really throw them off much, but some guys it really does. It's kind of just like a player-to-player basis, I think.
Going to the bullpen here, kind of cherry-pick some guys. Like I said, we have about 7 starting pitchers throwing bullpen innings here for the White Sox. Ton of depth. We'll start out with Joe Kelly. He was kind of in the same situation as Lance Lynn. Went through his own little mini spring training midway through the season. His last few outings has looked way better. Getting his stats up here in front of me. Last 4 outings, we have 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, 1 walk, and a total of 3 1/3 innings pitched. So, your setup, man. That's what you want.
Yeah, he's looked so much better. So much better. Way more control because he was just walking. He's walking everybody to start the season, and that killed him. But now it kind of looks like he's got the control issues figured out, and he's playing pretty well.
And a part of me feels like if Lance Lynn and Joe Kelly don't get hurt, like they play the full season, and let's say the White Sox still sign Johnny Cueto, I think this team is 6 games up. Like 6 or 7 games over 500, probably in first place.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of what ifs with this team. If they would have slightly played a little bit better, they have underachieved tremendously.
Going into the next guy, we'll do 3 more. The 3 other big, I guess, pieces of the bullpen. And if we pick your favorite player, he's not a big piece of the bullpen. So we go Raylo.
According to us.
According to us, he's just not that big of a piece. Sorry about it. Last 5 appearances, he's gone 4 1/3 innings. He's let up 1 earned run and has 6 Ks, 0 walks. He has a nasty curveball that whoever taught him that in Charlotte, go ahead and give that guy a
Good job.
raise because game changer for the guy. He got smoked in 2020. He was so bad in 2020, and I'm happy for him. I like the guy.
Me
So
too.
a fan of him. Oh, he's a
Beast.
good guy.
He's a weapon.
And just like somebody now you can really lean on, like really lean on for innings. Because if you need somebody to go 2 in a playoff series, there's your guy.
Yeah, and I mean, I just see it. It's so similar to Cleveland when they went to the World Series, like the way that bullpen was structured. And Andrew Miller, if he needed 2 innings at any point in the game, you put Andrew Miller in, and he got you 2 innings of no runs. Like just insert him at you can pitch in the night. He can close games. He can pitch the 8th. He can set up. He can pitch 2 innings in long relief. Anywhere. He's amazing.
We have our kind of like a Costco version of Jake Diekman. The White Sox have Costco, Andrew Miller right now.
Jake Diekman.
I'm not gonna make the joke. I don't want to edit it out. So, and then the other 2 big pieces, obviously, Kendall Graveman, setup guy. Last 5 outings, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 Ks. He did have 2 walks. He does walk guys from time to time, but when he is on, he is untouchable.
Yeah, and I think I saw a stat like if he pitches in back-to-back appearances, his numbers are way worse. So just Tony, keep that in mind. Keep him fresh. Make sure he's not pitching back-to-back, and you're going to have a lockdown dude.
And to the big key to the Chicago White Sox bullpen, I mean, the crazy guy from down under, Liam Hendricks, man. He is stud. Last 5 outings, 5 innings, 5 Ks, 1 earned, which was against Kansas City, and they still won the game. So check that. He's blown 2 saves all year, back-to-back reliever of the year. I mean, he is the guy.
He's a beast. It was a great signing. He's really only had one little rough patch when he was tipping his pitches.
That was it.
And that was it. And they figured it out, and he's been lights out. It gets a little scary when he's skipping that slider and curveball. But whatever.
He was going through his little White Sox fan DFA moment. White Sox fans, somebody has a bad day, DFA the guy. Just get another major leaguer.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. All right, just DFA.
Just get another best closer in the league. They grow on trees.
As my dad says, this guy better not blow this one this time. He's done it twice, and 2 times. 2 times it happened. I told you so. So, overall, though, I think White Sox are a top 5 pitching staff in the majors. Pitching isn't the issue for the White Sox. It's very much been the offense.
Every mistake is magnified for the pitching staff when you don't score runs, when you don't hit home runs.
And you're living on the margins. The White Sox live on the margin.
A stressful way to live and watch baseball. There hasn't been many games where you tune in and you're like, well, I can turn this off. It's the 5th inning and the Sox are up 12-0. They're gonna walk. It's every game. You got to watch all 9.
It's a dream. It's a dream for the marketing team too.
Yeah.
But the White Sox are in it. They are alive. We got. Oh, I put it away. I'm gonna edit this part out, folks. The White Sox are in it though. Upcoming week, the White Sox have a huge series.
Biggest one of the year.
Biggest one of the season, folks. White Sox go to Cleveland for 3. You got 1 in Kansas City, and then you got 3 against the Baltimore Orioles. 7 games. White Sox went 5-2 last week. What's your prediction, Matt?
7-0. Feeling a run.
They're going on a run. I got 6-1. I got them losing to the Royals with a
They're
weird.
They're going to
travel
put the
day.
ball in the air, hit home runs. They have Elvis Andrus, who has the best batting average in whatever loser stadium Cleveland plays in. He
Really?
bats like 320 for his career there.
Let's go.
He's got like
Let's
the best.
go.
He's got the best batting average in Major League Baseball in that stadium.
Good thing he starts tomorrow night. Shortstop. Put him in the 3-hole.
Like I think Rick Hahn saw those numbers and was like, "This guy's a ringer in Cleveland. Let's freaking go." You know, maybe he likes the way that batter's eye looks in Cleveland for some reason.
Maybe he's a big fan of Bob Feller and just gets like real juiced every time he goes to the Belay
He
plant.
loves to think about Juan Gonzalez and Jim Thome and Albert
Manny
Bell,
Ramirez.
Omar Vizquel and Roberto Alomar and Manny Ramirez and David Justice and Sandy Alomar Jr. All those guys. That's what he thinks about, and they inspire him.
Brad Hand, Andrew Miller, CC Sabathia. What other insane lefties?
Cliff Lee.
Cliff Lee.
They have some players over there.
Yeah, but the White Sox, man, they gave me hope this past week. I don't want to.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling like I'm going to really regret that 7-0 statement, but
I'm ready to get hurt by this. I'm mentally prepared to get hurt and emotionally
just
damaged.
Play the game, baby. Play the game.
Just have fire. Just as Johnny Quito said, have fire. My piece of advice for everybody listening is go look up the story about him. Manny Ramirez never told his family that he was a very good baseball player, and they didn't even know he got drafted. Their neighbor told him. Go look that story up because he's just the weirdest human being of all time.
Also, my advice will be just look up that highlight where Manny Ramirez caught the ball, ran up the wall, high-fived a guy in the stands, and then threw someone out at second base for a double play because it's the best play ever.
He is a freak athlete. Weird dude. Look up any of his stories. He used to steal his teammates' clothes, like not shirts, like underwear and socks.
That's Manny being Manny, baby.
Just
For the
Manny being
for
Manny.
any young guns listening, that's Manny being Manny. All right, that's like a whole like decade of insanity from this dude.
He played like MVP level baseball too.
And anyone who hates the Cubs, he absolutely eliminated the Cubs when he was on the Dodgers just by blasting home runs. It was pretty awesome.
And he was a White Sox legend. You could probably make like a Hall of Fame team.
He hit his
that weird
last.
stretch that he went
I
through.
believe he hit his last home run ever as a Chicago White Sox player.
Hey, you know what? He did a favor to everybody by doing that. So
Maybe just his last hit. I don't know if he hit a home run for the White Sox, but he was brutally bad on the White Sox.
him, Jimmy Rollins. Who else did they sign that was like at the end of their career? Bad.
Ken Griffey
Andrew
Jr.
Jones.
Ken Griffey Jr., Andrew Jones, Adam Dunn, Adam LaRoche.
Brought his kid in the dugout all the time.
I go all day. Rob McCoyak. Mark Teahan.
Go Sox.
Go White Sox.